I'm about to tell you what it means to live in the end. Stay tuned because we are about to manifest your dream life. Hi, I'm Vhalessiah, your favorite self-empowerment freak, and here we become high value and rich by mastering ourselves, our mind, and by learning high income skills. We are talking about the law of assumption because I think it's one of the most important skills you need to learn to master your reality and to achieve what you desire and to live a soft, healthy, aligned, happy, abundant life. Now, what does it mean to live in the end? It means that you live as if you already had your result. Let's take a step back. What's the law of assumption and what does manifestation mean? It means that you decide at a certain point that you want to master your life, that you want to make things happen. You do that by changing the narrative you have about yourself and about your circumstances. One day, you just discover there is this secret power that everybody can master that helps you to select your desired reality. So manifestation means that you select consistently every single time your desired reality. You stay in that state of mind, you take inspired actions to make that reality happen. So you constantly choose what to do and where to lead your life. But there is another layer. So it's not only about psychology, it's also about the so-called luck. So the event will adapt eventually to what you believe. People will adapt, the so-called luck will come at you, and it will lead you magically, who knows why, towards your goals. Living in the end, it's one of the techniques that help you to manifest your life. It means it's one of the techniques that help you to keep selecting that desired reality. You want that, you keep selecting that reality becomes true in the 3D. Do you need to live in the end to manifest? No. Is it necessary? No, nothing is necessary. What helps you to keep telling yourself the narrative of your desired reality is what you need. Techniques help you to do that. They help you to select that reality, that result every single time. You don't need to live in the end, you don't need to affirm, you don't need to visualize, you need nothing. But if you start from a point where you only have negative self-talks, you've only experienced negative elements, negative events about your desire, for example with money, you have a bad relationship with money, you've only surrounded yourself with poor people, you only made poor choices, then you will need to consciously choose techniques that help you to improve your relationship with money. And if living in the end is one of yours, then you're welcome. Now, I'm talking about my own beliefs and my point of view. I don't want to influence you. I give you my point of view. Feel free to adapt it, to give it up, to skip this video. You do you. If you believe what I say and what I say can limit you, then you become limited. Because if what I say becomes your assumption, then you are assuming and manifesting that what I say is true. I'm just presenting you with a technique and with my point of view that I find very helpful and that I find works very well. Now, living in the end means that you live as if you already had your desire in the 3D right now. So if you want to have money, you think, act and feel as if you already had the money that you want. So it means that you live as if you were rich. Now, I think that if you only think, act and research as if you already were rich, and you start by buying stuff, or you start by thinking and selecting your dream car, it may create conflict, especially if you have a particularly bad relationship with what you're manifesting. If what you're manifesting is deeply rooted into your identity, and if the bad relationship with your desire comes from generational curse and all of that. So you take action. While you take action, you do your research and you create a more detailed version of that living in the end. And by taking action right now, I mean that you start to think, oh, if I already had what I want to have, how would I feel? Because ultimately, you desire something because you want the feeling that something can give you. You desire your dream body because you want the feeling, the relationship. Again, it's about what you want to feel. I have already talked about it a lot of times here. I've achieved the goals I wanted, but I didn't achieve the feelings, so I still feel stuck, unhappy, and as if I did nothing. So since you want the feeling more than the desire, more than the goal, bring the feelings into reality right now. Make it real right now. You work on the feeling, and while you work on the feeling, how would I feel if I had this? What would I tell myself? It's about the narrative too, what you think about yourself, your self-concept. I already talked about the self-concept and the law of assumption in this video right here. What would I tell myself if I had my desire? What would I believe about myself? So it's about what you feel, it's about your self-concept, what you believe about yourself, what you think you are worthy of, and it's also about the content you consume. So it's about the things you say about yourself and about your life, how you feel, and what you watch every single day, what you read, what you surround yourself with, the self-talk, your beliefs about yourself, your self-esteem. I already talked about all of this in this video right here. And it's also about what you consume, what you surround yourself with. You may be living in the wrong environment for you, but you still have access to the internet, you still have access to books, to music. I'm sorry for the person I'm living with. So you can surround yourself with the right elements, the right content, and the right inputs that help you to keep selecting your desired reality. So you stop consuming content and news about poverty. You stop listening to sad music. You start to listen to manifestation music, to subliminals. You impress your subconscious and your consciousness with all the tools that help your mind to keep pursuing that narrative. And then you obtain the feeling, and once you have the feeling, you remove the excess potential, so the enormous importance that you give to your desire. If you already had it, you wouldn't give it that much importance. This means living in the end. I already have it, I already have the money. How do I feel? Now, if I had the money, how would I feel? What would I talk about? What would I describe my life as? What would I think about myself? What would I say about myself? What would I watch? What words would I say about my life? Once you have this, you're done. Because you already have the money, you already have the feelings. You don't need to think about not having the money. You already have it. So the potential, the excess potential, the importance that money have in your life decrease. And the more the importance decreases, the more you have freedom, because your mind doesn't go there. It doesn't go to the lack of money or of your desire. And if your mind doesn't go there, you don't start to spiral, to feel anxiety, and to pursue the same old narrative of you not having the desire. It's not that you shouldn't be thinking about your desire or the fact that you haven't it. You can think about everything. But if you spiral and you feel trapped into the anxiety and into the old patterns, then you keep repeating them. You keep taking the same actions, you keep saying the same stuff. But if not thinking about the lack of money gives you more anxiety, just think that you haven't the money. But still do your techniques. Even 10 minutes a day is enough to radically change your life. And a lot of times you don't even realize your life has changed so much until you look back and say, I was taking the same actions I did yesterday, but now they don't work because I have the money. What the hell? Nothing is a rule. Everything that helps you to keep pursuing that is fine. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I have a coaching open for you if you want. Feel free to check the link down below and even in the first pinned comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!